Hey there, this is Samir again with another tutorial for version 2.6, introducing some new tools. And this is the third one. If you haven't watched the first and second one, you probably should. Because we've built this setup here where we have differently colored sprites placed on particles that are moving to a spline and are then following the spline path. And while they're following, they are rotating around the spline path axis with about 15 degrees we have set, if I remember correctly. Go here. Yeah, there we go. So what we'll do now is we want to add some spline traces to the particles, and for this we have a new object. Let's just go back here, just turn out the geovariance. Not the geovariance, but the particle sprites. So this runs faster, and we can take a look at the rotation once again. In the display of the particles, I would like them to be displayed a little bigger. Okay, now the particle sprites, it's kind of, I don't know why. Anyway, here we go, and we can see that the particles are rotating here. And these are quite a lot of particles for what I have in mind. So I reduce this by adding a constraint here to the position-based particles high-level node. And I use the candidate button and I choose a noise constraint. And as you can see, that's also new in the latest version. It has a stop tag here attached, so it is not added to the high-level node interface, which would happen if it wouldn't have that stop tag. So you can literally move it out and well, just have better access to all the nodes that are not part of the high-level node here. That's just a distinction that I always make. Anyway, so we're now here in the noise constraint, and if I now change the low clip so more black parts on the noise, we reduce the particle count that way. So all the white areas will actually not avoid particle emission, but black one, well, like a mask function, will mask several particles out, so you can reduce the count that way. Alright, so that's what we want. What I want actually, so we don't have too many particles. Now we have 1222 as displayed here. It's alright, but I even need less, like this maybe. So in the end we have 68, a little too few actually. So this looks good, I think. Here we go. That's a nice distribution. I like that one. Alright, so now we need some spline traces. And for this we have the particle tracer, which I always put in the Effex scene, like this. And we can see that the particle tracer is now here also in our pipeline viewer. That's what we want. So now we need to assign a particle group, and it's the simple particles that is encoded here in the high-level node. Well, and we need to choose the passive particles. You can already see that there's a bounding box now there. If I play a simulation, we can see that all the particles are actually creating traces which disappear too quickly. We can set a different length here. For example, we can set a certain death rate percent per frame. If I choose 2%, for example, I would assume they live much longer that way, right? So also pretty fast to set up. We could now simply, you know, just do the usual sweeping like this. Put a particle tracer in here. Use a circle spline. Probably too big. So let's put it to 2. Like this. Was the other way around. And so we can see that we have created quite a nice effect here. Just generated very quickly with the new particle tracer, and as you have seen, you have a lot of options to change or let the operator decide where to generate particle traces, where not. This is just a quick introduction, but you can also use constraints, of course, to tell where exactly these traces should appear. But I'm talking about, let's just do it because it's done very fast, like this. And now I create a, for example, a fall off. Well, it hasn't been added, probably a bug, not good, but I will fix it. Anyway, so we have that fall off, and I drop it here manually now. Put it out here so it doesn't collide with the sweep maps later on. And I can now set a certain fall off area like this, maybe like so. And well, let's run it again. So you can see only traces are generated inside this constraint. All right, so the particle tracer is a great tool for motion graphics and similar stuff, where you need really illustrated or like designed visuals. Hope you have fun with that one. Tomorrow there's a new tutorial. Stay tuned. Keep it up.